This is intense brain work, right? But this is exactly how you're going to get better, is doing things like this. What I did is I pulled the best, smartest, most focused energy out of you. So let's start with something a little bit backwards. What I'm going to have us to do today is I'm going to try as little as I can to tell you what the right answer is. I'm going to have you figure it out, because I can tell you the answer. I can give you more feedback. I can give you more goals for the 4th time. But that's not really what the problem is here. Something is keeping you in Plat 1 and Plat 2, and it's not me, it's you. It's not your understanding of the game, likely. It's your execution in the game, and we need to find out what that is. Successful players are successful because of them and not the coach. I only get a little tiny bit of credit. So we need to find out what the problem is. We need to make you more self-sufficient.
In the past, there was one way of training is to talk to yourself what you're currently doing. Like, so to keep on topic. I think this is something I will implement just to focus on the topipic. So I talk about what I'm training. I'm in cover, not in cover. Talk cover for 1 hour, and then I have trained cover for 1 hour.
So that's great.
For now.
That's great. And I love the way that you said, you didn't just say talk Ash for an hour, talk Tracer for an hour. You said talk cover for an hour. Because if you narrated every single thing that you did with Ash, which I see some people do, it's impossible to do. The way most people need to narrate is to choose the one thing that they're practicing, right? And to narrate that, right? Whether that's your rotations, your cooldowns, your cover, like you just said, or what you're planning to do with your ultimate. That's a great thing to narrate too. But you don't try to narrate everything. And that might be a good thing for you to practice, is I'm going to be and narrate my rotations. I'm going to narrate my dynamites and coach guns. Before we look at strategy, look at how you're practicing, what you're practicing, when you're practicing, the sleep that you're getting, the breaks that you're taking. If you're not taking breaks between games, you probably should. I do it even when I'm streaming. 30 seconds, jump in queue, jump around, you know. So I want you to practice consistently for at least an hour every day, if you can.
Yes.
But you can mix it up every single game if you'd like.
Mix up the topics. Okay. Perfect.
And I think whatever works better for you, whatever works better for you. For me, I like mixing it up frequently. Some people like to practice one thing and only one thing for an entire week. I don't care. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I think we've answered a few questions. I want you to be very attentive, and I want you to keep a lot of your focus specifically on how do I feel when I'm practicing? How do I feel when I'm streaming? Do I feel focused? Do I feel tilted? When I feel really focused, why? What did I do that helped me to practice really well today? Not win games, but to practice really well today. Think about what you did to make that practice good, and then do that more. For example, I noticed that the taking breaks between cues, back when I was learning Sombra, I really felt my ability to, because Sombra rework was very frustrating sometimes because I got focused down a lot. But I realized when I was taking those frequent breaks, even when I was streaming, I did feel noticeably better, and I played noticeably better when I was taking those breaks. So don't just give yourself critiques and criticisms, but when practice is good, ask why, and then do that thing. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds
okay. So for you, the focus is less on strategy in game and strategy out of game. How am I practicing?
So basically, I felt a little bit lost. Yeah, it's very hard for me to define the feedback. Like, what's success? How is success defined on this topic?
Yes. So there's two sources of feedback, okay? Two sources of feedback. Immediate feedback and long-term feedback. Sometimes the immediate feedback can be you died, or you got punished, or you got a 5K, right? Sometimes. But usually the most consistent form of immediate feedback is to finish the game, pull up the replay viewer, go to the team fight, and look at the fight and think about it. And spend 2 or 3 minutes, not an hour, not 10 seconds, but 2 to 3 minutes thinking, was this the right play? What could I have done differently here? Was this good? Did I play it well? Was there somewhere else I could have done, or something else I could have done? That's how feedback works. Now, and you notice that I didn't say go back and watch the whole map. You don't need to do that. Just go back and look at the fight. Go back and look at the fight. Pick a fight where you felt a little awkward and you weren't sure if what you did was correct or not. Go back and study it. Everybody, almost everybody, is very qualified to give themselves feedback. And the reason the reason why people don't do that, though, is because it's a little bit of extra work, and people don't like to do that. It's boring. But if you want to get better, you need to give yourself feedback. That's all. And you really need to focus on yourself. If you go, oh, my teammates made a mistake and we lost the fight, but my rotation was good, great. That's all. If you said, oh, I rotated badly, but my team also could have helped me, doesn't matter. You made the mistake. Focus on your mistake. You have to stop looking at what your teammates are doing. You only look at your teammates are doing and before the fight starts to educate where you should have been or what you should have been doing. That's it. So the immediate feedback is you looking back at what you just did. The long-term feedback is your rank. 10 or 11 hours. I would say 10 plus hours. Your rank should change to reflect your gameplay. Now, within those 10 hours, you will have loss streaks and win streaks. That's the nature of competitive. But over 10 hours, you should have a reflection of your skill improving or getting worse or staying the same. Now, I'm going to pull a wild card on you. I would like to live coach you, if you're comfortable with that. Cool. So what I want us to do is I want you to see what map we're on, choose a hero, and then tell me what you would like to practice for that map.
Okay.
And then I want you to practice narrating what you're practicing, just what you're practicing. And then when we're done, we'll go back and we'll give you some immediate feedback. But I'm going to try to give you as a little feedback, and I want you to try and give yourself as much feedback as possible.
Okay, perfect.
So what do you think about this map?
So here I always play Ashe I try to keep my distance from enemies.
Okay. So what do you want to practice then? The rotations then you?
How to say? Like if they have divers, I want to defend with dynamite. If they don't have divers, I want to get max value of dynamite.
So you want to practice your dynamite then?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's practice your dynamite then. Dynamite? What's the play?
I'm looking for squishies, but I cannot find them. There's Cassidy on the right and the other ones on the left. Another, so we burn the corner. We burn the Anna.
Dynamite?
I don't want to burn the Rhine, but I can burn the Rhine because there's no armor.
Very nice. Very, very nice. That's the type of narration I want from you. This is perfect. Really well done.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Okay, 3 seconds. We get in position to burn the Anna. Kind of pulling the trigger too fast. I need to fly it longer.
So this is a great example of you lose the fight because you're not positioned or set up as well, and you've unfortunately missed your dynamites on the backline. But this is good practice. I want to be very clear that what you're doing right now is very good. So this is a great example. Like the results are feeling ugly. You know, you tried to dynamite backline twice in a row, and it didn't quite hit, right? But you know what? It doesn't matter. This is exactly what you need to be doing with your practice. So you might lose this game badly. You might even play badly overall. But for what you're practicing, this is great. Really well done. Dynamite's up soon. Start to think.
Okay, 2 seconds. We dynamite the Zen because he wants to peek, and I don't want him to peek.
Very nice. Start to think.
2 seconds. Anna is good target, but so is Echo. Echo flew away. Anna was better target.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, it didn't sync in time. I need to hit the Anna again because I cannot get to Zen left side. 5 seconds. Okay. I found the Zen. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. So this is a great example of where I think in general your positioning was not the greatest, right? And a couple of the dynamites missed, but again, wonderful practice and very, very high dynamite value as well, as you noticed. It's okay. Zoning dynamite.
So basically, we'll let them come to me and then burn when the squishies rotate.
Sure.
No.
Positioning issue, but the dynamite was fine.
Okay.
I know it's frustrating. I know you're like, oh, we're gonna don't. You did fine. You did fine.
Okay,
Make this next dynamite good. Make this next dynamite good. This is very winnable.
And there's squishy. I cannot reach.
That's okay. And it still hits. Get ready.
And it will be right side. So enemies have to
get
push,
ready.
so we can just burn whatever we find. It was too early. There was no target.
Yes.
Didn't scout.
Yes. Yep. Nicely done. Excellent job. Do you feel how this is intense, but also relaxed? It doesn't feel too bad even when you're making mistakes. It's okay.
It feels very streamlined to dynamite only.
Yes. And now I'm helping you do that. But the challenge is, can you do this by yourself? That's the hard part. Okay, let's keep going. Let's start to think. Dynamite. Where should you set up?
I set up on the right side bridge and then throw through the doors because I expect Squishy to be one of the left or right door.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see it.
Orisa, we don't need too much. It's a Cassidy, and we see Cassidy.
Get ready.
Oh, the Genji again. I want to burn the Genji so he doesn't never closes on me. But I can't find him, so we just put up pressure.
Very nice. It's fine. Good dynamite value. Good stuff.
But my team is dead.
It's too close. Too close given how many you were down.
Yep.
But nice dynamite. Right? So what are you noticing about some of these deaths when you are looking for dynamite?
So I'm hyper-focused on dynamite and run just forward to throw them. Like I lock on a target 2 seconds before I throw it, but then I'm kind of too focused on hitting the dynamite, so I just W into whatever is there. So I kind of think I need to strafe more right side to throw it, and not forward. Genji left side is good, so we can dynamite.
Good strat.
5 seconds. We dynamite close the door, and strafe left and miss it.
That's okay. Because why did you miss the dynamite? What were you trying to do better that time?
I was strafing to the side.
Right. And trying to not stand still, right? Which has been a problem. That's fine.
Okay.
Get ready.
Yeah. We'll try to reach the group. We don't need Bob.
Nicely done.
Okay, I go bridge again because I want to push into us. We wait for tank.
Okay.
Okay, we can dynamite one more before I need to touch. I can't get the Genji, even though it would be good.
Oh, you almost had him there. So do you notice? Do you notice, despite how like you were really focused on what you were practicing, right? And you played badly as a result, but you almost won still.
Actually, true, yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't play too badly. You had a couple of fights where you played really well. This was really, really, really well done. You should feel very good about this. And this is the best part about this. This is exactly what I was talking about in practice. This isn't the case for every player, but it is for most players. When I asked you what was the problem with your dynamites, you said, oh, I'm spamming them without thinking about target. Or you said, oh, I'm locking too much and moving forward and moving in a straight line and then dying as a result. And you know what? It's exact same stuff I was noticing. Exact same stuff I was noticing.
To say, it's kind of a little bit hard for me to remember a single dynamite I've thrown this entire game, which is kind of a little strange because I focused so hard on it. So I need to remember anything specific about it?
No, why not?
No? Okay.
No, your job is just to practice. Your job is not to remember what you practice. Your job is just to practice.
Okay.
So let's give me the replay code and we will give you some immediate feedback. So this is exactly what we talked about with the immediate feedback. We're only going to look at your dynamites. We know that there was positional issues. We know that you missed a lot of shots and you messed up coach guns and maybe your awareness was bad, but that wasn't what we were practicing, so we're not really worried about it. So I want you to give you immediate feedback on all your dynamites and only your dynamites. What do you think?
I think I could have been more prepared to throw the dynamite onto Genji because I heard him earlier. So if I was focusing more on finding the divers and dynamite them instantly at first action in the game, I can be faster with this dynamite. This dynamite was total waste. I'm actually not even sure why I was thrown this one. It was good, given the position.
You notice how easy this is? The easiest out of your entire life.
Could have thrown it earlier on the Anna. Like there was an option to throw it earlier. Yes, this is then the corner on Anna is fine.
Okay, so this is a really important moment. You just said a dynamite was fine, even though it didn't hit anybody. You notice that?
Yeah.
And
it has a potential hit Anna. So
see, that's what we're looking for. You notice that? So you said, oh, it didn't work, but it was the right idea. And that's a very important moment. Because you're right. Because you're right. You might lose this fight, but the idea and the strategy was good. So nice job. Because I agree. It's good. It's unlucky. Happens.
I don't see options to throw it, so it's fine to not throw it here yet.
And I remember you said here, Ryan doesn't have armor, and I don't see squishies, so I'm going to go for the dynamite and the Ryan. And you know what?
It's a little bit late. About 2 seconds earlier with this idea would have been perfect.
And it was late because you were looking for backline first. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You didn't rush it. So this dynamite's good. So what would you give yourself? How do you think you did this run?
So the ideas are there, but sometimes the execution just takes too long. Follow up on the idea.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I agree. I would say pretty decent though. Pretty decent. Probably better than average game. Yeah. So notice that we're giving you immediate feedback here. And how many words have I said? Maybe a few, right? But mostly you.
Could have just thrown it earlier onto ball.
Why?
Because I feel like in this situation, the backline was not really pushed up to ball, so he was a little bit overextended compared to his team. And so I tried to force the dynamite, which kind of, so I kind of like opened myself up too much for where I could have just, how to say it? Like I tried to hunt the dynamite on the squishies, but I'm over-focusing on this specific topic, I think, a little bit.
Does that sound familiar? Do you remember this fight when you were like looking for squishies and then then squishies were too far, so you dynamited tank?
Yeah.
This situation you made the right decision. This situation you made the wrong decision, right? So you're like you really want to go for squishies, but like they're so far away that you actually put yourself out of position to go for squishies. Yeah. You know that's a pretty advanced concept, right? That you just that I didn't tell you that. You told yourself that. And not only did you tell yourself that now, but I remember in the moment here, you were critiquing yourself. You're like, I reached too far with my dynamite. And guess what? You're right. It worked out, but it's lucky. And you almost died as a result, right?
Yeah.
You're really good at coaching yourself.
Yeah, also good. Didn't rush it. Looked for opportunity. Was nice. Didn't rotate in time when my cooldown was up. So I could have rotated faster when dynamite was at 3 or 4 seconds. I could have started rotating right side. So I might have found a target, but I didn't look for a target on time.
I do remember you calling at this point as well that you were not confident that you could reach backline. And so you were willing to dynamite tank. And again, I think that's okay. You see it?
Throws into the mess. Yeah, it's also okay, except that I walk forward.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, you're not getting punished for it every fight, but you are very like you're like a zombie. You know, I see dynamite. You look like a bronze player for just a second. You know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like so, bronze enders always jump forward when nading. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. It's
the exact same thing.
Yes, exactly. Good idea. Yeah. Just missed. Good idea. Just missed. Good idea, but this time you didn't miss.
But I jumped forward for it.
That's true.
The zoning dynamite and Cass runs into it. It's nice.
Right. So you were saying I want to dynamite early here because I want to give my team time to come back.
Yeah. This dynamite I can do better because I already know that they will be looking at Bob, so I throw dynamite behind Ryan so that he has to choose Bob or dynamite. So this should have flight deeper.
And you called it too in the moment too. Like it was really good recognition. Yeah. And I think we get one more dynamite. Maybe we do get one more. And that's all. Okay. That's all your immediate feedback. So then the best part about this is now you can go in and play one more game practicing dynamite. And what could you practice about with your dynamite? Not just practicing your dynamites, but what could you practice about your dynamites?
Well, unbind W when I throw dynamite.
Yeah, no zombie walk, right? No zombie walk.
Yeah.
Or like if they're too far, just wait or dynamite tank in the meantime, right? Like look, not forcing the opportunities. And again, like obviously here, what I did is I pulled the best, smartest, most focused energy out of you. Right? I pulled the best out of you. That was my job today, was to show you that deep inside, you have this inside you. You do. You just have to pull it out. Now, the key thing is you don't need to maintain this level of focus for very long, because this is an exhausting level of effort.
Yeah, that's actually I need a break.
You do.
1 game is insane.
Yeah, 1 game and the VOD review. This is intense brain work, right? But this is exactly how you're going to get better, is doing things like this. You're a very intelligent player. You're very experienced. You know, usually these kind of things are a lot harder because platinum players aren't that smart. But you're different. You've been around a long time. You've been in Masters. You've played a lot of different characters. So you have the knowledge that I don't really have to teach you about positioning and angles and how to use dynamite. You already understand all the details. You just need to pull this level of energy and effort more often so that it becomes more autopilot, more second nature. And so a lot of your frustrations about, I don't feel like I can practice that well, I get bored, I don't know how to give myself immediate feedback. Well, here you go. This is how you do it.
Okay, yeah, that's actually really helpful to kind of see which intensity I can actually reach.
Yes. And notice that I don't think I taught you a single thing in your live coaching or in our VOD review. I don't think even the little things like the zombie walk and like forcing dynamite too deep and going for tank. I didn't even bring that up. You brought that up, and it's actually you notice it. You notice it first, and not only did you notice it in the review, you noticed it in live. Like you were so locked in. So this is great. This is exactly what you need to be doing. Now, again, you're not gonna be able to do it for very long, and it is very hard to do this also while streaming. But this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Now, your challenge is, how often can I do this, and how often can I maintain this? And when I'm practicing, can I do this more often? And so everything, your focus right now needs to be on, can I do this, and how often can I do this? And when you do it, you got it. Remember, the goal here is not so much of what you need to practice with Ash, but how you need to practice Overwatch.